Hello, my name is James Rosano, and today I'm here to discuss if video games are violent or not. Um, for me, I I tend to stand in between video games being violent and non-violent because I myself play a lot of video games that could be considered violent, but there have been studies over the past that say that they are, some that say that they're not. As you can see, one of the big ones is Mortal Kombat. That's the one that I play all the time. Um, Mortal Kombat, Grand Theft Auto, really any sort of like fighting game promotes violence in a way that could be misconstrued by the player and turned into something much worse than what it should be. Um, Back when Mortal Kombat started in 1991 or 92, they there was the original fighting game, and they weren't promoting violence yet, but it was still a violent game because it showed two fighters who looked awfully similar to humans fighting, and um, they introduced fatalities eventually, and they started getting sued because of it, and they've never lost a lawsuit because you can't really sue them for it. But over the past couple of years, there have been cases where a student in the United States or in Germany, where a student has committed a murder or done something and cited the result being that he was playing a violent video game. And I, for one, uh, I can see where they're coming from because the video games do show like very gory and bloody and things like that and murder essentially. But on the other hand, it doesn't always depict that. Like, it doesn't always have to be that way. I, for one, have never thought about like killing anybody or really, none of that. And I mostly play these games. I've probably been playing these since I was maybe 15. It's a very short time. I know it's only been 5 6 years. Um, but I I don't know. I tend to think that it's not so much the video game itself. It's just it might be put into the wrong hands, and I just believe that parents should be able to at least check on this information before they give this kid a violent video game, because the results that it gives is just it's not good. It's actually it can be really detrimental to a kid's life if there has been like problems in the past and then he's playing or he or she is playing a video game. um, it just doesn't look good for the companies. It doesn't look good for like the games that they want to put out in the next couple of years, because parents are going to say, okay, well, this already happened and this is the same company and they're putting out another one and my kid wants the same game. So they might look at that as a little bit, with a little bit of like mistrust. But I don't think so much that they do. Originally, I did. I did think that they promoted violence, but I don't really think that they do so much anymore. I think it doesn't really rely on the company to make sure a video game isn't violent. I think if they want to incorporate violence into the game, then that's their doing. But the point of a video game is for it to be fun, not violent. And I think that's what companies are striving for. I don't think any company is sitting around their table saying, okay, well, we want to make a video game violent. They just want to make it fun. They want to get their money, and just like they want like the customer to buy their product like any sort of company would. And I think it more relies on the kids and the parents, more importantly, to at least be able to check on this and say, okay, well, if this isn't like right at the moment for my kid, then maybe we can wait a few years and then see reevaluate it when the time comes. But I mean, that's of course it's personal opinion. Any parent can choose to do whatever they want with their kid. I for one would at least like look into it, being that I know that a video game can be perceived that way, that it is violent, but I don't honestly believe that they always are.